Welcome back, everyone, to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 11, Episode 6 of Eldritch Horror, and we're on Turn 7 of our Black Goat of the Woods encounter. We had a great Turn 6. We were able to close an active rumor. Unfortunately, another active rumor has opened up, and we've got 2 clues on the nature of the All-Mother, the nature of the All-Mother. So we will get right into that. We have Trish Scarborough on an active clue. We've got our other investigators close on the trail of closing an active rumor. So let's jump into it. I think we're going to send one investigator to close these clues out across the ocean, Tokyo, and Himalayas. We've got some active tokens here, so let's do that. And then Trish Scarborough can close that clue. If she can progress the active mystery to 3. So let's jump into turn number 7. As usual, quick shout out to Pontos Fathom Press. Check out our links in the bookstore. We've got Genealogy of Cthulhu, Psychoanalysis of Rilliat, and the Archaeology of Yog-Sothoth by August Moldenhauer, among other books there. Our channel's not monetized, so buy a book to support us, and would really appreciate that, supporting independent publishing. You can also join us on our Patreon, and as usual, liking and subscribing, leaving a comment, great ways for us to be in contact with each other. I read all the quotes, and we're looking to grow the channel to 1,000 subscribers to get to live streaming. So we'll jump right into turn number 7. Really appreciate you guys out there. Jim Culver, the musician, he won a mysterious tome from his last encounter in Panama. It says, item tome, when you spend a focus to reroll a die resolving a test, you may reroll up to 2 dice. And next up is, let's just grab another card for the reserve. Forbidden Secrets is there. And we'll jump right into it. So first we have our lead investigator, Jim Culver. He will go up to... So Diane Stanley has got a clue. Oh, we need to put Eldritch tokens on this here. I think Diane has got lots of weapons, so let's have her head up to Arkham. She will gain a ship token and move up to Arkham. And let's have Jim Culver head to San Francisco. And he will go ahead and move across the globe and try to get to this Tokyo clue in the next round. And then finally, with Trish Scarborough, she's in a C spot. Again, she will... I think she will go ahead and try to solve that active clue there. So we will jump right into the turn, starting out with Jim Culver with a San Francisco encounter. Jim gets a private investigator prepares you to help him on a case. Improve your observation. So Jim improves his observation. And we'll give him that. But then it says he's looking for a strangely shaped skull that's gone missing after being recovered from a fire. Your investigation reveals Atlantean symbols, including the one for resurrection. Okay, so he's going to do a roll with these Atlantean symbols for resurrection. So, Atlantean symbols for resurrection. He does a roll. So he passes and does not get the curse condition. So, doesn't get anything other than he gets his strength increase, which is pretty good. He got his observation increase, so good. He's come out of this positive. Let's go to Diane Stanley, the redeemed cultist in Arkham. She will roll an Arkham encounter, and she gets, the police ask you to examine a book they have seized in a recent arrest. So she will examine a book from a recent arrest, and she gets a 5. So she passes. If you pass, gain 1 incantation spell. So she can gain an incantation spell. And she gets clairvoyance. And she can choose to pass as if monsters do not exist. So great, she's got an encounter, she's gained a spell. Finally, we move on to Trish Scarborough, the spy. She will do a research encounter to the Black Goat of the Woods. She's on a C space, so it says, you can't shake the feeling that something is hunting you. If you stay awake all night to watch for the threat. Oh, you stay awake all night to watch for the threat. So let's have her stay awake all night to watch for the threat. She passes. If you pass, you find the strange tracks on the deck of the ship. Gain this clue. So she shall gain this clue, and she shall place this clue on the active mystery. She solved the encounter, and this will make us progress into the 3rd active mystery by the end of Mythos Phase. So let's jump into the Mythos Phase. We get our Mythos card and a proposition. So first off, we progress the Omen track. And we have on Antarctica, we move the Doom track down by 1. Next, we have a Monster Surge. And Monster Surge means go to the monster bag. Monster Surge results in 2 monsters from the Monster Surge. We get 2 cultists. So we've got 2 cultists in a thrall. The cultists are rising in Antarctica. And it's an inconvenient place to go to close a gate. So I'm a feeling that's going to stay open for a while. Finally, we spawn clues. So we'll spawn 2 more clues. And we can return those clues back to the bag. We have a clue on 1. Oh, which is good. We can have Jim go to that one, and we have a clue on 18. All right, so let's read this. A proposition. You have told everyone the parchment was indecipherable, but you were lying. You know the ritual necessary to summon and bind the dark power. You could strike a bargain with it. The situation is desperate, but you know that a solution is within its power. What will you ask? What will it ask of you in return? A proposition. The lead investigator may gain a dark pact condition to immediately solve 1 rumor mythos in play. Immediately solve 1 rumor mythos in play. Gain a dark pact. Yeah, why not? He will gain a dark pact. So Jim Culver gains dark pact. He gets a dark pact to solve the active rumor. And he gets the deal. So Jim Culver gets a dark pact. The active rumor is solved. And now Trish can go off to maybe Rome instead to gain this clue. Oh, sorry, Diane. Diane can go to Rome to gain this clue. Okay, so that's going to do it for the end of the Mythos phase. Spawn clues. Monster Surge. We've advanced the Omen. We've advanced the Doom track by 1. And Jim Culver has got a Dark Pact to close the active rumor. At the end of the turn, we've closed the Nature of the All-Mother. So let's keep this going. We'll jump to turn number 8. We returned our clues to the bag. And let's grab the 3rd active mystery. So now we are on the final active mystery, Hunting the Thousand. Turn number 8. It says, the black goat spawn, the 1,000 young, infest the planet in greater and greater numbers, threatening to overrun humanity. When a non-epic monster is defeated, the active investigator may spend 2 clues to place the monster on this card at the end of the Mythos phase. If the total toughness of all monsters on this card is greater than twice the investigators, we solve the mystery. Well, this is going to take some time to get monsters spawned. So we actually want gates to spawn here. So let's jump into it. We will we will go ahead and start out with Jim Culver, our lead investigator. He will... Jim Culver, what can he do? 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's have him just gain a ship token so he can sail across. And then he will head up to here, in Alaska, to do a research encounter. And then next up, we'll have Diane Stanley, the redeemed cultist. She will go. She will also grab a ship token and move from London to Rome, and she'll have a research encounter in Rome, spending her ship token. And then finally, Trish Scarborough, the spy. She'll come down from the north down to London and just have a London encounter. So she'll have to make her way across as well. So she comes down to London. She can also gain a train token while she's in London. This can help her to move across. So let's jump into our encounters phase. We'll start with lead investigator Jim Culver, the musician. Has a research encounter in Alaska. It is a city. You've captured one of the Brotherhood's knights. These assassins are rarely captured alive, and this may be your only chance to interrogate one. So he has his only chance to interrogate the assassin. He's going to go ahead and roll his test. He passes. If you pass, you question him briefly before he swallows a poison capsule. Gain this clue. So Jim gains a clue. Problem is, our Mythos card requires us to kill monsters. So clues kind of have become a little bit... I mean, they're helpful to have, but maybe we can start spending them as we need them. Oh, we do have this spinner of webs here. So maybe actually Trish Scarborough can go and fight the spinner of webs. That's an epic monster. Yeah, so that might be what she's going to do. Okay, so speaking of her, let's have her do her encounter in London. A normal encounter in London. Impulsively, you look through the interrogator's files when his back is turned. Spawn one clue on a space of your choice. Okay, well, let's have her spawn a clue here on the spinner of webs as well, so she can grab that clue while she's there. Unfortunately for you, he sees you, and you'll need to fight your way out of Scotland Yard. So she'll roll a test. She passes. So she is able to escape Scotland Yard. She spawns a clue, and she's going to head for the spinner of webs in her next turn. And finally, we've got Diane Stanley, the redeemed cultist, doing a research encounter in Rome city. You search for insights into what the Order of the Death's Head was doing before they left the city. So she searches for insights about the Order of the Death's Head. And she passes. If you pass, you find notes about a creature. Gain this clue and discard one monster of your choice. Okay, so let's have her discard the Thrall. Actually, let's have her discard a cultist here. So we got a cultist and a goat spawn. Let's have her discard this cultist. And discard a monster of your choice and gain this clue. So she gains the clue. Okay, so let's move on to our Mythos phase. So turn 8, Mythos phase. That which consumes. We will advance our track. We do not have a gate open according to that. We will do a monster surge on the open gate. It says, monster surge, if there is no gate that corresponds to the omen, spawn one gate. So we will spawn a gate on Atlantis, space number 8. And we will spawn a monster on that gate, which is a ravenous gug. Okay, the ravenous gug is on space 8. Finally, we'll spawn clues from the clue bag. And we get clues on 13, and Tunguska. Okay, next we will go ahead and read our Mythos card. That which consumes. In one night, the whole monstrous undertaking has disappeared. Every occult sigil has been sealed from the wall and painted over. Every name on your list has moved to a new city without notice. You would like to believe that you managed to drive them out, but you fear that it signifies something worse. The dark goal they'd been pursuing is now accomplished. That which consumes. Event. Investigators as a group choose one gate on the board and discard it. If the gate does not correspond to the active rumor, the active omen, advance doom. So let's close this gate on Antarctica. I think that's the one to close because we'll never get down there. And it doesn't correspond, so we advance doom by 1. That's doom is clicking down. So that will wrap it up for our Mythos phase. Let's keep going. Turn number 9. Okay, so I think we'll start out with leading investigator Jim Culver with a ship token. He is in a city. Jim Culver can try for an asset first. Let's have him roll for an asset. He gets a 2. He will grab the Forbidden Secrets. Forbidden Secrets, he gains +1 to mind during an encounter. So we'll have to go through all of Jim's cards in the next encounter rolls that he does because he's quite a bit here. So Jim Culver does that, and then he will just move the 1 space to do a research encounter. Next up is Trish Scarborough, our spy. She will use her ship token to move 1-2 to encounter the Spinner of Webs. Spinner of Webs will be her encounter. And then finally, Diane Stanley, the redeemed cultist. She will work her way. Let's have her get the train token. She will take a train token. And let's have her move. The problem is with so she can she'll take a train token, but let's have her move to this pyramids clue, and then she can take the train 1-2 or 1-2 toward Tunguska. And we'll see what kind of monsters spawn, hopefully. We need some epic monsters to be spawning here. So yeah, let's go into the encounters phase. Jim Culver first, research encounter. He gets a wilderness research encounter. The faces of the robed figures are hidden behind wooden goat masks. Their chanting corrupts your thoughts. You may gain a dark pact to gain this clue. Sure, let's have him gain another dark pact. Why not? He gains a second dark pact. He's a glutton for punishment. A dark pact. Okay, let's go on to, let's just put this here to remind us he has 2 dark packs in case there's a reckoning. Okay, so he is able to gain this clue. Let's move on to Trish Scarborough, the spy. Trish Scarborough is going to fight the Spinner of Webs. So Spinner of Webs, what do we have here? She has a mind test and a strength test. His toughness is 5. And this says if the total toughness of the monster is equal to twice the investigator. So this will be great. This is 5. We'll just need 1 more epic monster kill after this to close things out. So let's give her her first round. She will attack with her... Oh, so first of all, she gains plus to skills, where X is the number of focus tokens she has. She has 1 focus token. So that means she's able to add 1 to her test. So it's 3, 4. Oh, sorry, yeah, that's Trish. So she passes the will test. Next up is the strength test. She has the weapon 45 automatic plus 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's see what she can do here. She gets a 4 of the 5. Let's let her use her focus token to re-roll. And she gets 6. 6 out of 5. She slays the spinner of webs. We will place it here for 5 points. And we'll just leave this 5 here to remind us that we just need one more to close out the third active mysteries. But there are no epic monsters on the board soon, and I'm not sure when we'll get one. Let's go finally to Diane Stanley, the redeemed cultist. She will go for a research encounter. Really plowing our way through the research encounter. It's a wilderness. As the cultists carve your skin with their daggers, you sense the presence of the black goat of the woods. You may strike a bargain with the ancient horror. You may spend 2 health or gain a dark pact condition to gain this clue. So let's have her spend 2 health, and she will gain this clue. I'll just trade this 3 for 3, and then she will spend 2. I'll leave these here. Okay, so she gains this clue by spending 2 health, as opposed to gaining a dark condition. So Trish Scarborough gains the... Oh, wait, that was Diane, sorry. Diane had 3 and 1. Trish Scarborough will spend 2. We'll just put these here. Okay. And she's at 7, not at 8. Okay, fine. So she's able to gain that clue by spending 2 of her health. So Trish Scarborough victorious in the encounters phase. Let's move on to our Mythos phase. So turn 9, Mythos phase. Desperate times. We advance the omen track. We do not have a gate open corresponding to that. But we unfortunately do have a reckoning. So first up in the reckoning, spawn 1 monster on a random space. That's the black goat reckoning. So we get a space of the Amazon, and we will spawn a monster there. It is a Leng spider. It comes to the Amazon. Next, we have some cultists to perform reckonings for. So the Cultist Reckoning is spawn a dark young for the reckoning of the cultist. So we have a goat spawn. We have a goat spawn that we will... Well, here's a dark young. We can spawn a dark young here to replace this cultist. Right? And then we can spawn a goat spawn to replace this cultist here. So a goat spawn replaces this cultist. And then finally, we will spawn another goat spawn to replace this cultist. We'll get him out of the bag. Then finally, let's go through all of our other reckonings. The Ravenous Gug has a reckoning. Move this monster 1 space toward the nearest city. So he moves down to Panama from Atlantis, the Ravenous Gug. And then going through Diane Stanley's cards, she has an enchanted weapon reckoning, where she can test her lore. She passes. It says, the encounter causes your possessions to glow. No bad effect. Okay, Jim Culver's got quite a few spells and things. He's got a Dark Pact as well. Dark Pact is the only reckoning. Roll 1 die. On a 1, you enlist the reckoning. He does not enlist the reckoning. So, reckoning is complete. Lastly, spawn a gate. So we will spawn a gate on Istanbul, and we'll place a monster there. It's the mummy. And she's actually gained this clue. Okay, so it says, desperate times. You hear it again and again in the news. Every day the world takes another step toward utter annihilation. You ask yourself, how much would you sacrifice to prevent the disaster? Even if you could only grant humanity 1 more day of existence, could you honestly say that the price was too high? desperate times. Doom advances 2. Okay, so that is going to wrap it up for turn number 9. Let's keep going. Turn number 10. Let's do an epic marathon here. So turn number 10, we'll have our lead investigator, Jim Culver. Let's have him go close the Tunguska expedition. And we will have Trish Scarborough spend her travel token to go down to Atlantis. And finally, we'll have Diane Stanley spend her... Well, she'll go and close this gate with the mummy. Okay, so that's going to be our actions phase. Let's move to our encounters phase. So first, Jim Culver closing the expedition. It says, Tunguska, you encounter a craft built for traveling through space, but the radiation in the area seems to have killed most of the Migo inside. You look through their equipment, and being in the area makes you feel sick. So let's have him roll a test. If you pass, you find a map that shows occult events. Gain 1 clue. So you can gain this clue. You use them. You look for more maps. So he's going to look for more maps. Gets a 6. If you pass, you use them to coordinate your fight. Advance the active mystery by 1. Oh, the active mystery is advanced. That means we solved this active mystery. Whoa, okay, so at the end of the turn, we've got this active mystery is advanced now. So we just need to make it through the Mythos phase. So Jim Culver has found a Migo. Oh, the expedition returns to Tunguska. Let's go next to Diane Stanley. She will fight the mummy in Istanbul, the mummy of Istanbul. And she has a huge plus to her strength here with her holy cross and her holy spear. So she will, as a redeemed cultist, fight as a holy warrior, gaining +2 to her will roll, which is 4. She passes, and then she will get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. She gets 9 for strength. Whoa, let's have her re-roll with her focus. She's also able to re-roll 2 dice. So give her 2 more dice to re-roll, and she'll spend these focus, and she can gain her focus back at least once. And she gets 6, 6, 6. The redeemed cultist with the Holy Spear rolls 6, 6, 6, and she's able to defeat the mummy. But she still needs to go to Istanbul to close the gate. So she will go through to the city of the Great Race. One of the Yithians is incoherently communicating only in occult gibberish. You learn that the creature swapped minds with a man and then died, leaving the person's thoughts trapped in this body. You try to understand what it is saying. So she can roll her test to try to understand what it is saying. If you pass, it begs you to complete its work. You may gain an agreement condition to gain 1 task unique asset. If you pass, close this gate. So she's able to close this Istanbul gate. So great job for the redeemed cultist with her holy spear defeating the creature. And then finally, we have our last gate close is Trish Scarborough in Atlantis. Let's see what lies through Atlantis. She goes through Atlantis, and what does she find? The Great Hall of Celiano. Something terrible happened in this section of the library. The walls are scorched, most of the books are ruined, and the shelves seem on the brink of collapse. The smell of burnt flesh threatens to overwhelm you. Trish is able to do a will check here. So she will roll her will check, and she gets a 5, which passes. You endure the scent and find the books you seek. Gain 1 random tome asset from the deck. 1 random tome asset from the deck. Let's just grab some and try to find the first tome that comes up. Ally, weapon. Tome asset. She gets the occult scripture. When you gain this card from the deck, reserve, gain 2 clues. So Trish gets to gain 2 additional clues. So she gets the 2 clues. Whenever she gains a clue, she spawns a clue. So this is great for her. And if you pass, you disarm the text includes a cryptic warning. So 1 more roll. She has to decipher the cryptic warning. She gets 5s and 6s. She passes. If you pass, you disarm the arcane trap. Close this gate. So the Atlantis gate is closed. That will wrap it up for our encounters phase. Let's move on to our final mythos phase. Well, not final mythos, but our mythos phase. But I believe this will be the last mythos. Patrolling the border. The soldiers refuse to explain why you must pass through the checkpoint and simply ask you that makes you more suspicious of their story. So first we advance the omen. The omen gives us no gates are open, so no doom advancing. Next there's a monster surge. No gate is open, so the monster surge goes to Shanghai, and we'll place the monster there. It's a rat thing. And finally 2 clues are spawned, and we'll place the 2 clues on Istanbul and Sydney. Patrolling the border. So ongoing. When this card enters play, the lead investigator chooses 1 investigator to be delayed. Let's have Trish Scarborough, who just closed Atlantis, be delayed. We'll just put this here for now. That will be the end of the mythos phase. We have achieved 3 mysteries solved as we advance the mystery. And that will make the investigators win the game. Let's go ahead and grab our Forgotten Endings card. Go ahead. We'll just shuffle them up a bit. We'll pick whatever one comes up to the top. So, the forces of the Black Goat of the Woods defeated. Let's read our final card. Shadzir's Seal. Your investigators in dangerous adventures eventually lead you to the strange area of the Moorish desert. Oh yeah, so this is kind of like we are in the pyramids. We've been in North Africa and Rome before, so now we're in the Moorish desert. Some truly devilish force twisted the baked. Oh, she's also in Istanbul too, so interesting. It's got a kind of Moorish idea here. Some truly devilish force twisted the baked earth into ridges, and the ridges into a perfectly even spiral, in the center of which you find an ancient stone pedestal, or perhaps an altar. Having consulted the entities in the journal, at midnight you remove from the pedestal on an inconspicuous stone plate the seal of Shadzir. After sending the necessary wards, you break it, throwing it flat on the pedestal. You notice the light of one of the stars is extinguished. The constellation is no longer enough power to summon the Black Goat of the Woods to the earth. You have closed the future. So we have won. We've defeated the Black Goat of the Woods. The investigators had prevented him from rising. Thank you guys for watching another season of Eldritch Horror. We'll see you in the next game. If you like and subscribe, ring the bell. We'll let you know when there's another episode, as well as Cthulhu Death May Die is coming next month. Check out also, if you're interested, Joan of Arc gameplay that we're doing. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments below, and we'll see you in the next game. Bye-bye.